我叫何百川，我来自中国，现在在学数学，我大三。When I was in high school, I traveled to the United States for a summer vacation, and I went to Los Angeles and I visited University of California at Los Angeles. I found the atmosphere here fits me well, and people there are very friendly and nice. Also, I found that the diversity in the US attracts me a lot. So when I came back to China, I shared my experience with my parents, and they strongly encouraged me to study in the US. So that is why I chose to go to college in the US.
Hi, my name is Tarun. I'm an international student at UIUC. I'm from India, from a city called Bangalore, and I'm currently studying computer science. UIUC's computer science program is actually one of the best in the world in terms of in terms of rankings, in terms of job placements, in terms of research opportunities, and it also attracts some of the best professors in the world. So I guess that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to come to UIUC to further my passion in the field of computer science. Besides that, financially, it's a very big commitment for any international student to come to UIUC, and I mean, I was lucky that my parents were in a position where we could make this sort of commitment.
네, 안녕하세요. 제 이름은 임학성이고요. 한국에서 인천, 서울에 가까운 도시인 인천에서 왔고요. 지금 마지막 학년을 보내고 있습니다. I chose to come to US because I wanted to study psychology, and as you may know that America has one of the best psychology program. So I decided to come to America.
After the 3 years of studying in the US, I found the biggest difference between me and my friends in China is that I am more confident and prepared to my future life. For example, I went to the Career Center in the University of Illinois and talked with a lot of advisors. And they give me some valuable advices and tips on how to develop resume, how to get connection with companies, and how to prepare for a job interview. Whereas when I asked some sort of questions to my friends in China, I found few of them have clear path for themselves. I think the reason is the lack of guidance, and there's no places like Career Center in the university in China. Students are more like robots solving problems on the textbooks rather than college students who should be more confident and more self-oriented.
So I guess I've seen a lot of differences between me and my friends back in India. A lot of that has to do with the fact that the coursework at UIUC is a lot more rigorous than it is back in India. There's a lot of things that I'm learning right now, and over these 4 years that my peers will be learning over the next 6 or 7 years in industry. The other thing is in terms of work experience also, the kind of internships and exposure that I can gain here are a lot bigger and a lot better than what you can back in India. For example, I'll be working with Amazon in the summer, and the project that they've assigned me to may have a decent impact on their business value. For example, the stuff that I'll be doing, it might lead to like direct changes onto their website and such, which is like a pretty big opportunity for an intern. But back in India, internships are sort of seen as a formality for the companies that offer them. Occasionally they make their interns do some kind of busy work or do some kind of research which is most likely going to be discarded. They don't really add any sort of business value to their companies. They don't really gain anything from the exposure, and it tends to be just something you do to put a name on your resume basically. But here it's a totally different ball game.
Well, I came to America about 8 years ago, and I've been staying in America for quite a years. I went to high school and I went to college, and I guess the most apparent difference between me and my friends back home is that now I'm fluent in English and they're kind of like not, and they're kind of jealous of me in a way, and that's the most apparent difference I can perceive. But however, I think the most fundamental difference between me and my friends is that now I'm more like individualistic. As you know, America is a very individualistic country. They care about individual rights over collective rights. But South Korea, the country that I come from, is a very collectivistic country. They put group in front of individuals. But now that I lived in here for like 8 years, I think I became more individualistic.
Yes, of course. The experience in the US changed me a lot. For example, the academic achievement is big, and I made some friends. Some of them are elites from countries all over the world, and I learned some cultural difference from them. So, if I could have the chance of time travel back to my high school, I would definitely make the same choice.
So, I'm not sure if coming to the US was the best decision I made. I mean, it's a question I've asked myself a lot of times, and a lot of family and friends have asked me. But to be honest, I really don't know.
So I think definitely my decision to come to American college was helpful, and it was a very good choice of my life.
So the reason I choose to study in the US traces back to my father's trip 4 years ago. He went to the University of Maryland for a business program, and he shared his impression and experience here with the most beautiful words in the universe with me. And I choose to trust him, as I always do. Right now, I'm an upcoming senior student here. I treasure everything I've got here, including the knowledge, the cultural differences, and the most importantly, friends, some of whom I want to keep in touch with for eternity. And I notice the difference between me and my friends in China is huge. Despite the academic achievement, which is decided by educational resources that China could never catch up with, I feel like I'm more confident to express myself now. Because we started talking to Americans with weird pronunciation and poor vocabulary. I think there is nothing to embarrass me more than that. Whereas my friends seem to be more shy and more like to live in their small world. They care nothing more than sleeping or dating or eating, that kind of trivial things. Okay, so obviously through these 3 years, the belief that the US was the best choice successfully transferred from my father to me, and I want to keep it going. I would suggest my friends, my cousins to study abroad in the US, and if perchance in the future I will send my children to the US as well. I want to keep it as a successive legacy of my family.